Hey YouTube, it's me. Last time you saw me in the intro, I had a long luxurious weave, and now I have long luxurious braids. I apologize for the quality of the video. I'm gonna get up in your grill so you can kind of see my braids up close. There you go. Johnny, what kind of braids are these? What kind of technique did you use? We'll discuss that momentarily. Mama, shut up! So, sorry, my dog has been tripping. I think she needs a new anxiety medicine. I don't know. I'm like, what the hell? Like, really, what does a dog have to be, anxious for? There we go. Better lighting. Like, really, like, what does a dog have to be anxious for? Like, I know you're like, what are you doing? I'm trying to get better lighting. Okay. All right. Okay. How you doing? Okay. I wasted enough of your time. All right, so what are we talking about, kids? We're talking about techniques, products, and tools. Okay, that's what we're talking about. So in the intro, like I said, it's long awaited. It's here. I'm sorry it took so long, but hey, when you have no budget, okay, you have to work with what you got. Okay, that's just how Hollywood is done. Alright, so techniques, products, and tools. Let's talk about it. I'm going to be flipping these. I'm going to whip my hair back and forth like tons of times. Okay, I'm going to stop. Alright, so here goes. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Let's take a minute. I know you're like, wow, you're not going to get to this. I'm going to turn off. Don't turn off. We're going to get to it in a second. I just need a minute because it's like take 44. I'm going to make this take work. Okay? Alright, so here we go. Techniques, products, and tools. Hopefully this won't be super long, but I don't know. We'll find out. Alright, so technique. When it comes to techniques, there are like a myriad. Hey, there's my lug. Wait, are those my bowling shoes?
No, those are your lugs.
Hey, my lugs, y'all. Woo woo. Okay. Techniques, products, tools. Alright. When it comes to techniques, there are a myriad of techniques out there, and before we even get started, I can hear you now. Well, Johnny, what about a Malaysian weave? What about a skin weft? What about a microchet? What about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? Look, let me just stop you right there and say we will do a special video on derivative techniques. Okay, we will. Now, why are we going to do a video on derivative techniques? Because I tell you, all of those techniques that I just named and a few others are derivatives, direct cousins, brothers, sisters, uncles, mamas, baby daddies, ex-boyfriend, crackhead friends of these 10 techniques I'm going to talk about, okay? There are 10 basic, most common techniques, okay? These are techniques that are tried and true. These are the techniques that have stood the test of time and that people have continued to use and have improved upon, where you get these derivative techniques like Malaysian weaving, okay? Boom. I know you're like, don't give him hair because he just flips it. I do. Flip it a lot. Alright, so let's go over the 10 techniques. Okay, because there's 10. For real, there's 10. Let me get my notes here. There's 10. Okay. You've got bonding. Okay. You have fusion. You have hot and cold fusion. There's 2 types. We'll get to that when we talk about fusion. There's tracking. There's netting. There's tree braiding. There's clip-in and clip-on hair extension. There's lace weaves. There's micro links. There are Euro locks, and then braiding techniques. According to my notes, we've got 10. I've listed 10. We're done. Alright, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's have a little talk about some hair. Alright, bonding. Bonding has been and still continues to be a very popular temporary weaving method, okay? It's a really great way to add instant color, to add volume, to add length, to add, turn your lackluster, 2 inches of hair into, 6 inches of extraordinary. Like, that's what bonding is, okay? Now, the way the tracks are administered or attached is that they are glued to the roots of the person's head, okay? With a special adhesive. Now, here's a personal disclaimer, okay? Again, I'm not a professional. I don't claim to be a professional. I don't know it all about hair. I research it. I bring it to you. I bring it to you based on my own personal experiences because I love hair. I'm a slave to my weave. Okay, even though I got hair underneath because I'm not bald headed by any means. Okay, but With that being said, this is my own personal opinion. I don't think that anytime you bond hair, it should be in any longer than 14 days. 2 weeks, people. 2 weeks, okay? So that's just my opinion. Bonding, when also talking about bonding, people may also be referring to custom toupees or wigs. And we'll talk about that when we talk about the section about lace front wigs, okay? Because I'm going to break it down for you and do a video on lace front wigs. Okay, and toupees and things of that nature, because that's a whole nother can of worms. Like when it comes to hair weaves and things, people, there's nothing cut and dry, and it always leads into another can of worms that can be expanded upon by itself. Okay, so instead of always lumping stuff together, I'd rather mention something in passing and expand upon it later. Okay, all right, y'all know this. This is stuff that I'm telling my new people that I hopefully are watching. All right, so continue on with bonding. Medical adhesives are used to attach toupees and lace wigs. So if you're doing a temporary weave, you obviously don't want to use a medical adhesive. We'll get to that when we get to that section. In the meantime, there are two types of bond that are used in most bonding or hair gluing techniques, which is you have a soft bond, which has the consistency of rubber glue. It usually, I'll show it to you in the product section later what it looks like. And then you have a hard bond, which is has consistency of crazy glue. Okay. Personally, I recommend hard bond for people that don't do soft bond well, like my little friend Tina. She glued in like a track once and had some issues with it. Like, I would recommend a hard bond for her because it would stay longer. My friend Kyle could have used a soft bond. We accidentally used hard bond in his head once, and girl, them pieces were in there for like 6, 7, I don't know. It was in there forever, crazy, ridiculous amounts of time. I think like 3 months, maybe 4. I have to ask him. But that's it. The bonds can last 4 to 6 weeks if they're properly maintained. But yeah, here's a note on properly maintaining. You're going to spend your life in the beauty shop with a glued weave. Period. You are. If you're going to keep it for longer than like 2 weeks, you're going to be in there for a minute. And here's why. Okay, soft bond especially. Okay, because the majority of us use and can use soft bond. Okay, soft bond. If you sweat a lot and the natural oil, that's going to cut through your bond and your hair's going to fall out. If you use products, it's going to fall out. If you wash it, it's going to fall out. Like, it's a soft bond, people. It's not going to hold tough. So you got to keep that in mind. Quick weaves are a popular style that derive from bonding techniques. And you know, we'll talk about that later in derivatives. All right. So then we're going to go on to fusion. Okay. What's a fusion weave? Alright, so I'm going to read something to you that I have, which is that there's 2 different types, and the first fusion technique we're going to talk about is a cold fusion, okay? Let me give you a general overview of what fusion is and how it's different from bonding, okay? Because a lot of people hear fusion, and when they hear what it is, they go, oh, well, it's bonding. Well, not, yes and no. Yes and no. Fair answer, yes and no. Fusion is where the hair is literally fused with the extension hair, is literally fused with the client's hair or your hair, whoever's getting it done, whoever's doing it good, whether blah, okay? That's what fusion is. It's fusing. Think of it as, here's a good analogy. Think of it as welding for your hair extensions, okay? We all know what welding is, okay? If we've lived under a rock or whatever, I'm explaining to you real quick what the hell welding is. You take a piece of sheet metal or whatever it is that you're welding together, and basically you administer heat to it usually. There's usually some sort of adhesive, or if not, if it's just direct heat, and what happens is that the chemical compound will melt down and merge with the other thing, okay? We know what welding is. Look it up, Google it, Wikipedia it, whatever it, do something with it. That is what fusion is basically. Fusion is basically welding for your hair. And people love it. Have I had a fusion done? No.